Hey everyone, Miguel here from Nerd Gear, and today we've got some exciting things to go over. First of all, thanks for jumping on this page and participating in the voting. I appreciate your input and look forward to the results. But we're going to go over a couple things today. First off, just going to do a quick update on the progress of the Commander Essentials kit, talk about some changes to the color finishes, which I'm pretty excited about, and also talk about the just the color reference cards. I'm going to do a screen share, just discuss some of that, and just discuss the overall voting structure and how it's going to work. But yeah, first, just want to give a quick update on the progress. So everything's going pretty smooth. We're in final stages of mold development. So the manufacturer's probably about a week or two away from having the molds done, which means they are ready for colors, which is why we're doing the voting. So they need the color options by the end of the week. Then they can do the first round of samples with them and send them over to me. And then I can take a look, approve them. And if everything looks good, then we go ahead with the first round of production. So that's really exciting. And next, I wanted to share some updates on the color finish options. So originally, the manufacturer said we had to have the tray and health spinner as a solid plastic option, which probably would have looked fine. I would have chosen good colors for that. But I wasn't too excited about that, especially since the 3D versions we've been selling, most people choose the dual color option. So we felt like we needed to find a solution there. So I have been going back and forth with the manufacturer, and recently he did come back with an option, which I'm really happy about. They're letting us do a kind of base color plus a highlight finish. So that's what a lot of our color reference cards are gonna reference. You'll see that, but it looks fantastic. They did send me a physical sample of an item finished that way, and it looks great. I took a picture of it and I'll show it on the screen in a little bit. It doesn't really do it justice, but it looks really good, and that's why a lot of the reference cards you're going to see, or all the reference cards, I should say, will have a base and a highlight option for the train health spinner. So, really excited about that. It's going to be way better than just having a solid color. So, that's super exciting. But anyway, I think we can jump into. Let me just jump into a screen share, and I could go over the color reference cards, and like I said, show some examples of what they refer to and the sample of the new finish. All right, let me jump over. All right, let's dive in here. But I wanted to give a quick recap of what we're talking about. We were talking about the color options for the Commander Essentials Kit, which is basically what you see here. It's going to be a custom Command Zone tray with a health spinner and 4 oversized D20 spin downs. They're going to be not quite as big as the Magic Bundle dice, but pretty close, and a D6 spin down. And if anyone's not familiar with what it's used for, it's basically used for a game of Commander. Keeps things organized, keeps track of your commander damage, how many times you've cast your commander, gives you a dedicated zone for your commander when they're command zone. That way, there's no confusion of are they on the battlefield, are they not, and of course, a health spinner to keep track of your life. All right, so that was a quick recap, and let's talk about how this ties into what we're doing today for the voting. So I'm going to give a quick um, example of what we were talking about for the finish. So this figure right here, is the example that the manufacturer gave you for color finishes. So this is way better than a just solid blue or solid red color would have been. So, this is going to let us do a base color. So in this case, it was black, and then a metallic finish, or it doesn't have to be metallic, but in this case, it's kind of a metallic aged bronze finish. So this will add so much more depth, and it'll make the trays and the health spinner look so much better. Really excited about that. And I also want to show an example of what the dice would look like. So the dice we're going to be making are a dual tone, so 2 color, that kind of with that swirl mix, kind of what you see here. So in the color reference pages, you're going to see 2 colors for the dice as well as the text color. So that's what this represents: is those 2 colors mixing together to make the dice, which most of us are pretty familiar with, on the dice that get released. So that is just, quick recap of that. And I forgot to mention, if anyone doesn't know, the Commander Essentials kit is actually to come in a nice heavy, kind of heavy duty, thick felt case, which I'm really excited for. It's awesome. I've got a couple behind me. They work really great. But yeah, so let's jump over to the color reference card. So that is this right here. So here's one of them, and we have full list. And like I said, we'll have 10 of them to choose from. But let me just kind of go over what these are and what all these colors mean. So each one of these is broken down into 3 sections. First is just this visual reference sample up here, which really is just my attempt at giving us a visual of what it could look like together. So the background here is again just a visual reference of what the two colors together would be, like the base color and the highlight. The text is representative of what it'll be. So in this case, we're on this combination, it'll be like a metallic silver text that would be for the commander damage of the casts and the numbers on the spinner. And then the circle here represents the dice. So these two colors are the two color mixes. Obviously, there'll be more of a swirl, not just like two halves of a dice, but also the dice lettering will be a separate color as well. So in this case, we're going dark gray, kind of medium gray, and red for the dice. So that'll kind of tie into what that'll look like. And I hope that all makes sense. So yeah, in this case, the letterings are the lettering colors are pretty similar, but I hope you kind of get what I was going for here. Obviously, the texture is not going to be the texture of the tray, but just a bit of a visual reference of what it could look like. So the main thing we're looking at, though, is the base color, the metallic highlight of the tray and the hell spinner, the letter colors, and then for the dice is what are those two colors getting mixed and swirled in together, and then obviously the lettering color there too. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. If anyone has any questions, shoot me a DM or just message me. I'll definitely help out as much as I can. As far as the voting goes, everyone can choose 3 options. There are 10 in total, and like I think I mentioned before, we are choosing 4 color options to go to production. So we're going to try to narrow down these 10 down to 4, and everyone gets to vote for 3. And if you change your mind, you can just vote again. It'll just override your previous option. So I appreciate your input. If you could share this with your friends or anyone else you feel would want to have input on this, I'd really appreciate it. The more people get voting, the better. And yeah, I think the better result will be. And I'm really excited to see what everybody votes. So thanks again, and we'll chat soon.